If I could, I would right swipe you. Let's talk about love. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys so much for all your love, all your messages over the last week that I have been away. I appreciate it so much. I tried to record like a quick video on Instagram to let you guys know what I sounded like, and I looked horrible that I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I feel like it's better that you guys see me with good lighting and filters and makeup and stuff like that. No, it means a lot to me. And number two, I did a very heavy squat session yesterday, so I'm struggling to stand a little bit. So if you see me move around, it's because my legs are so sore today. But anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about long distance relationships today, about common law relationships, and also marriage visas. So how can you sponsor the person you love, but also how can you make sure you still want to be with the person you love? Because long distance relationships suck. Trust me, I know they suck. I have been traveling my whole life, and I feel like from a very young age I learned very quickly to adapt to being away from people that I felt connected to, whether it be friends, whether it be family. I don't really think I got into relationships when I was like traveling as a kid, but you know, you have these little crushes and all that sort of stuff. But the other thing is, I also learned how to maintain those connections, and there are some people in my life that I met over 15 years ago when I was traveling, and I'm still friends with them. I might not talk to them all the time, but I maintained the relationships. That being said, I also understand that the relationship that you have with your mom or dad halfway across the world would be very different to the sort of relationship you might want to build with your partner that you met online, or you met them when they were traveling, or they're from your home country and they live equally far away. Now, whether you live 1,000 kilometers away or 10,000 kilometers away, distance is distance. And when you're a little bit closer, obviously you can fly and see each other and things are a little bit more convenient, but it is hard nonetheless. So what are some of the things that I've learned that I can pass on to you guys? The first and most important thing is, like, I was talking to my friends who've, you know, been married for a long time and they're actually happy. And I was asking them, like, what do you think is the key to being happy in a relationship or a marriage? And one of the most common things that I was told was to marry your best friend. You know, it's so important to be with the person that you can build that everlasting friendship with. It's someone that you want to support, but someone who supports you, someone you can be yourself with, because you don't want to lie to yourself your whole life about who you are or what you like or what you do just to be with somebody and then resent them later because you spent like years of your life just doing things that you didn't want to do or whatever, right? So I think it's really important to take that time that you have to really talk to each other and learn about each other, to really make sure that that is the person that you want to be with. You know, build that friendship. Play like games with each other, like, you know, tell me 2 things about yourself that I don't know, or write each other letters and things like that. I think snail mail is one of the best things you can do in a long distance relationship. It's such an exciting feeling when you open up your mailbox and there's like a letter with your name on it and has little hearts or whatever, and you know it's from the person that you love. I don't think any text, any phone call can beat that sort of like excitement, unless the phone call is your partner telling you that they're coming to see you or something like that. But anyways, you know, every time you go to the airport, it's hard. You drop them off. It's tough. So I think doing things like that, like slipping a little letter in your partner's luggage that they can read on the plane, talking to them when you're far away, making lists of things you want to do when you guys are together, and even like sending each other like postcards of when you go to a place that you wish the person was there with you. Like, I know you can FaceTime and you can like show them and stuff, but like picking up a little postcard, you know, a wish you were here thing. I think things like that really, really help bring people closer together, because these are things that have been around for a long time. I know that, and I know with technology there's so much more you can do right away, but there's also something very special about going to the post office or slipping a letter in the mail. Anyways, I feel like I'm talking too much about letters. The other thing is to really be understanding of each other's cultures and time zones. You know, if you and your partner are from two different cultures where maybe one of you speaks English fluently and the other one doesn't, be a little bit more patient in explaining things to each other and talking to each other, because you can try and say something and it can be really, really misunderstood or misconstrued by the other person, and it's not intentionally. Sometimes it could be a cultural thing. So really take this time to understand each other and be patient with how you explain yourself also, because you know, a small like on Facebook or a tap on Instagram, you know, and it could just create unnecessary problems between two people that don't need to be there. So don't take social media too seriously. Now, when you are at the point where you want to bring your partner into the country, or you're already in the same country and you want to sponsor them, immigration will require a few things from the person who is going to do the sponsoring, right? So the biggest thing that you need to have is money. You need to have the money to support your partner. So that's like rent, food, and like clothing. So just the basics. The government doesn't need you to show that you have a bazillions of dollars for a dream wedding, but you do need to show that you have enough income to support the other person who's coming into the country or staying in the country, because you are responsible for their health care, if they have to go to the doctor or anything like that. So you are the person who's responsible for the partner. Even if they get a job or whatever, generally they will get a job because you are sponsoring them, and it takes like time. So in that time where you apply for the visa until you get approved and you have your permanent residency, your partner can stay and live and work, but you have to get the medical insurance and be responsible for them. The other thing they will ask you to prove is your relationship. So you must have been together for a year. Ideally, you've been living together, but if you haven't, then they will ask to see like phone bills or photos, letters to each other, any kind of proof that you can provide to substantiate your relationship with the other person. Now, the thing that I thought was very, very shocking was, or it kind of took me back, was the cost. Like in Canada, the application process for a common law relationship, like the whole sort of immigration thing, is about $1,000, whereas in Australia it's upwards of like $6,000 to $7,000, and I think that's insane. But you know what? I think Australia is worth it, but I don't know. It's so expensive. So I think that's something that you have to be prepared for also, is the application cost. Now, if you go through a migration agent for the process, it can sometimes be free. There are migration agents who work free of cost. If you go through an immigration lawyer, you have to pay their hourly rate. The advantage of going through a lawyer is they really, really make sure that everything is being done properly, and they can also sometimes get in touch with the immigration agent on a more sort of like more directly than we would be able to just as applicants, so which is really, really cool. Now, if you are applying for a marriage visa, like let's say you've been with your girlfriend for however many years, or your boyfriend or your partner, then the process is a little bit different, where you need the marriage license. They will question the integrity of your marriage, often because there are a lot of scams within immigration for marriages and visas and stuff like that. So they will kind of question a lot of stuff about your marriage, and that can take time. Now, if your partner or your husband or wife, your spouse rather, is in another country when you apply for the process, you have to wait until you get the nod to bring them in. So that can kind of suck sometimes. So just be aware of that, and also the application fee, like I said. And then the other thing your spouse needs to do is get a medical exam, especially if they come from a country where there might be some diseases or something that the government is worried about, where you have to get like a chest x-ray and stuff like that. So that's like a really quick spiel about common law and marriage visas and sponsorship. The cool thing I think is that in Canada and in Australia, there is accommodation for same-sex relationships, and I think that's really cool to have that. I don't know, how long it's been there, but I know there was a time when that was not an option for some people. So I think that's really cool that no matter who it is that you love, that you can spend your life with that person, come a little bit closer to living the life that you want and having your happily ever after. I really hope you enjoyed this quick video. I thank you again so much for being patient with me over the last week. I assure you, I always have intentions to come back more regularly, but I will be giving you guys more videos like this. If you want to know more about like marriage visas and common law partnerships, give this video a thumbs up so I know that's what you guys want. Make sure you click on the little bell doohickey down below so that whenever I post a video, you guys are in the first to know. And I am always answering questions on Instagram and YouTube, or I'm attempting to. And thank you so much for tuning in today. Think strong always, and remember that there is enough room for all of us to succeed, for all of us to have the life that we want. So help each other out. Share this video with anyone who could use it. Tell the person in your life that you love them, and be happy. And think strong always. Until next time, take care. Bye.